Alright, welcome back. A little apology up front. This is going to be a longer video. I'm going to be doing some gathering as well as completing some of these little side quests here. We're going to need to do one of them anyway because we need a PowerPoint to unlock our next mission or our next area at the world map that or the war table map that we'll get to here shortly. But there's actually 2 PowerPoints that we can get here in town by doing these. Here's the first of the little side quests.
I didn't realise any of Leliana's Oxman mercenaries were still here. Well, if you want new gear, you pay for it. Oh, you're her. Thren, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Logain MacTier, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Logain MacTier betrayed the Grey Wardens and his king.
Were you there at Ostagar? I was. King Kaelan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting a signal. Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Ten Logain made the right decision. I apologize. Sister Leliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
You know, begs to reason. The question is, at what point does one become too blind and too stupid? You know, she may be doing her job, but her politics and her beliefs are poison. Logain was guilty of a lot of things, and I firsthand know he was guilty of torture, murder, treason, selling elves into slavery and to blood mages, to Deventer, and there's just a long list, and I know he's guilty of these things. He tried to kill me personally. So, yeah, I know firsthand. Sure, I was there at Ostagar. Sure was, actually.
Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Alright, now there's a lesson to be learned here, is that in following out all the dialogue, I eventually found a new side quest to go find this Master Tajin's notes. It's not only going to unlock something valuable for us, a key item, but it's going to count as a side quest, of course. Who knows, influence, a PowerPoint for completing it, all that good stuff.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I don't even want to think about how many lives were lost on that mountaintop.
A lot of good men and women didn't make it out of there. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
It's pure luck that I escaped.
Good luck or bad? You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky... that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Varric says this isn't going to end well.
Need something?
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the deep roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the deep roads? That's not a cheery thought.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Right, now the reason I didn't go through all the dialogue with Varric there is because talking to your followers is going to unlock a lot of codexes, and once again I'm going to save that till I get my Inquisition perks. That will give me extra XP for that. Much rather unlock it for 150 XP than 50. Sounds good to me. And once again, those are also codexes that you can only unlock once, you know. It's not like I can come back and repeatedly unlock the same codex over and over. If you could do that, then XP would be kind of pointless, actually.
I don't see why we need to build siege equipment. We're not laying siege to anything.
That's an excellent point, Recruit. But if someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it would be better.
I think it's about that time to go through what gear I'm going to use at the moment, and then put everything else in my trash sack to pawn off to this merchant here. Let's see. Okay, well, that's definitely better. And it's an axe. Yay! I have a sword here. I like axes a little better than swords, but still, I'll take it. Can't unlock it to the next level, but at least I'll have it. I'll be leveling up again here pretty soon. This doesn't take much to level here early on. Once you get up into the 20s, though, I imagine it's going to take forever to get a level. Sweet, something else to unlock. Alright. Everything else can go in the trash pile. Talk to this dude right here real quick.
Ah, you're awake and out of Lady Cassandra's clutches. And here I paid that little knife ear to inform me the moment you were free.
We have an elfist.
Segret, honored to meet you. Thank you for all you've done. Hopefully, we'll still do.
What do you think I'll be doing exactly?
Word's already spreading that if anyone can close that blighted thing in the sky, it's you. Anything you need is yours. For a reasonable price, of course. Supplies are a little tight, given the circumstances.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those blasted demons destroyed most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
You must speak with most everyone here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an Inquisition is called. Yet. Of course, we're all getting used to, well, you as our last best hope. Nothing personal.
Can I see what you have for sale?
Of course. My wares are at the table.
Alright. See what he's got. I can find all this stuff. So, these schematics. Making parts for Varric's crossbows far preferable to buying parts for it. I'd rather customize stuff myself. Found that crafting gear usually results in better stuff than what you can find, for the most part. I mean, there's unique things to be found, especially like, you know, rare weapons and stuff that have cool effects, and they look cool, usually. They look really cool, but what you can craft is usually better, especially because you can gear it towards exactly, you know, how your character specifically plays. We'll get into some crafting here shortly. It's actually one of the little side quests here. Go to the blacksmith, make a set of armor. If you go through all the dialogue with the guy, he'll give you a pattern for a set of armor. It's going to be far better than what I'm wearing. Now, this may be a little tedious. In fact, if gathering and crafting is boring to you, then, well, you know, this is a long game. It's a huge game, epic in scope, you know, so to speak. And crafting and gathering and exploring and searching for stuff is a big part of it, you know, along with the combat and things. And this might not be for you, but if this is your sort of thing, then this game has all that in spades. I mean, it really does. There's all kinds of materials to craft with. And then we'll get into a higher tier form of crafting later on. New kind of blacksmithing will be unlocked, and you can make even better stuff. Not only, you know, the materials you put into your gear, like I said, we'll get into that here in a little bit, dictate exactly what bonuses you get, what the stats are on the gear, but then later on we'll have masterwork level gear available to us where we can start putting special perks on there. All kinds of little cool effects based on the raw materials that you have. And, I mean, the number of materials is ridiculous in this game. All the different stuff that you can use to make your gear. And then you have other materials, which its sole purpose seems to be to either turn into your beast investigator. I don't know what you'd call her, but there'll be someone assigned, and we'll also talk to that person. A little bit later, we're going to have to go to the next area and then come back. But we'll have some enemy materials to turn into that person for influence and experience and bonus damage against that kind of enemy. Like you turn in a bunch of remains from demons. After, you know, so many remains are turned in, you get bonus damage against demons. And so on and so forth. You know, it applies to beasts and then humanoids like, say, bandits and stuff like that. It'd be nice if these nugs were dropping some skins. I'm pretty lucky with drops here so far, but, okay, well. I actually need some skins to make these parts for Varric's crossbow, that's why I'm kind of looking around here. It's a hefty box. Onyx and Summerstone. Those have particular effects when we put them into
Tell Thren she owes me.
our gear. And then an upgrade for a set of armor.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work. Something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragon bone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Goodbye.
Right.
Alright, notice their codex unlocked. Study of the 5th Blight, which would be Dragon Age Origins. That was unlocked just by talking to him. Alright, basic crafting. Can't even make that yet. But, alright, so he gave us this armor schematic from talking to him. We get this. Now, the starting material that you put in just to make the item itself, it's that first slot. Higher tiered materials might give you better stats. Like this, plain iron will give me 72, but if I had, say, some obsidian, and this was a schematic that called for a higher level material to even, be allowed to be used here, then I might get 80 points in armor rating or something like that. Okay? But considering it doesn't really matter what I use here, I'll just use what I have the most of, what I have the most available to me. Okay, and then the second slot gives you a particular kind of upgrade. Like, in that case, it could be melee defense or extra health. I'm just going to go for basic, just a few extra points of health. Make a couple sets of those. One for me. Now I have one for Cassandra also. And then the other part of this portion of the side quest is to upgrade a set of armor. So those arms that I just found in that box, I just threw them on that set of armor. Okay, and I want to make those parts for Bianca also, as well as this axe handle here. It says two-handed haft. Haft is for axes, and a two-handed, what is it, handle or whatever would be for a sword.
That'll do.
Alright, so I don't have quite enough leather to make that one piece, but I can put this haft on my axe here. Little extra bonus. Can't really do anything just magnificent right now. I mean, you know how you start RPGs, you go out with a sharp stick and you stab mud crabs. I mean, it's that type of thing. You're out there just basically swinging whatever you have available, but much later we'll, of course, have really good stuff available to us. But for right now, I can upgrade our armor just a little bit. Throw some of this other stuff into the trash can. A tip when it comes to guard, armor, and barrier penetration rings is to put those on your allies that have a lot of attacks. Like, for example, mages and rogues, especially with their bows and even with their daggers, they're going to hit more often, and so they have that much more chance to utilize the effect of that ring, if that makes sense. You know, if I have a such and such percentage chance to break your barrier, break down your guard, or whatever, then I would rather apply that chance to more hits. Like, I may hit slower and harder, so I'll give that effect to someone who hits maybe a little weaker, but hits a lot faster, so they can apply that effect more often. At least that's my logic, so. Barrier penetration, guard penetration, bleed, things like that. I put those on my rogues and mages. Alright, now there's Master Tajin's notes. Okay, that was kind of our tutorial on how to search. When that little ring around the mini-map to the bottom left of the screen starts to glow, then you can hit the search button and a little ding will go off and it'll point you in the direction of a hidden item. That comes into play a lot in the game. And here's a lot of iron. There's our logging site for our requisition, Thran, and I need some Druffalo skins. I hate killing these guys. I really hate killing these guys because they're so cool. But I specifically need Druffalo skins to make the kind of arms I want for Varric's crossbow. Alright, so anyway. Now I can walk away feeling like a D-bag. So I killed the poor Druffalo dude. They're very cool. They don't bother anybody. They just sit there and snort and hoof the ground a lot and just do their thing, minding their own business. Alright, so that's kind of like a little route that I run. And there's even a few more things to grab, but I hit most of the nodes. Got a nice stockpile of materials here, and so now I can go ahead and make Varric's crossbow stuff. Like I say, this all may seem a little bit tedious, but it's going to make things easier. At least here in the beginning. It's nice to have a couple extra points of damage here and there. Maybe a few extra stats. Okay, I can either go with strength or constitution. I don't know how big a factor strength is for a crossbow. I really don't know, but constitution will give Varric some extra health, and that sounds good to me for right now. Dexterity should increase his attack, and I think critical hit chance is how that works in this. There's actually a thing where you can go in and look at your attributes, and you can click on strength and dexterity and willpower and all that, and it'll tell you exactly what it does for your character. It's a little different than it was in Origins and Dragon Age 2. It's a little bit different. Like, I think cunning applies to your ranged defense now. And I think dexterity applies to your critical hit chance instead. And then constitution is your melee defense and your health. And so on and so forth. So there's some slight differences in how your attributes are distributed between your characters now. Seems like some attributes which specifically apply to just one class now can kind of benefit all the classes a little bit differently. So let me go ahead and make this for this trader lover here. And that's not only a power point, but look at that. 200 points of influence right there. We're a quarter of a way to our perk already. That's definitely a plus. And then I can go give this guy his notes and see what we get for this. I'll tell you what, whether it shows it or not, what we'll get is a lyrium potion recipe.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajin was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Farewell.
Yeah, there it is. Lyrium potion recipe.
You're back. And in one piece.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Alright, and this is one of the last little quests that we have. It's essentially to equip some potions, and I'm going to have regeneration potions on everybody. That's kind of like just the basics right there for my whole party. Just to have these to kind of supplement regular health potions, which can go pretty fast sometimes. And the thing is, in the future, when I pick up new followers, is to remember to get to one of these benches and equip them also. I hate going into a big fight and finding that I forgot to equip their potions. And then because of that, Dawn Lotus can upgrade our health potion. We can't do anything about the rest of these right now. We don't have any tonics or grenades yet. But we know eventually we will find those. And there we have it. Alright, so we got our requisition, got our potions made, got some armor, weapon stuff crafted. I need to get a respec amulet. That's one thing I forgot to do. Go ahead and get that point back for Varric so you can spend it on something that we're actually going to use. Screw those caltrops. They are garbage. Every Dragon Age, there's been abilities in there that maybe look kind of good on paper, but were totally useless in actual combat. I don't wonder if that's kind of BioWare trolling us just a little bit with, you know, here, spend an ability point on this. Ha ha, it's garbage. You know they damn well knew it when they put it in there too. All right. So anyway, I can go ahead and have Varric equip that and then get his points back, and then I'm going to go ahead and level everybody up, including myself. And then we can head out into the great beyond, wherever our adventure takes us next. Do some exploring and go kill some stuff. It's been a while since I swung my axe at anything meaningful. So we switch to Varric, equip that. Out of here and go assign our points. Okay, pretty good idea on which direction I want to go when I level. Right now I'm going to take the left side instead of the right because I'm eventually going to want to get that. That Coupe de Grace around level 6 or 7 is a key. It's probably like the key passive for this build. Considering my entire team is going to be basically designed to be knocking enemies down, stunning enemies, paralyzing them, incapacitating them in some way, shape, or form, that takes advantage of that. And it's like 20-30% extra damage or whatever bonus for enemies that are knocked down. That's key because there are other bonuses hidden throughout the skill trees and other places that also stack damage on that specific thing. And so eventually we're going to start hitting for thousands, you know, with a weapon that may only do, 100 and something damage or whatever, and you're just knocking off these criticals with all these stacked buffs all put together, and it's brutal. Of course, that's the whole idea. Build your character in such a way that you get maximum force and damage out of your abilities.
Does it trouble you?
It's stopped spreading, and it doesn't hurt.
We take our victories where we can. What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Couldn't that kind of power just make things worse?
And people call me a pessimist.
She's so cool. And here's the crew.
May I present Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
Such as they are. We lost many soldiers in the valley, and I fear many more before this is through.
This is Lady Josephine Montellier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
You're even taller than I'd heard.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
Pleased to meet you all.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
Well, that was fast.
That didn't take long.
Shouldn't they be busy arguing over who's going to become divine?
Some are calling you, a Kunari, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading...
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
It's a little unsettling.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign. And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
Will the Chantry attack us?
With what? They have only words at their disposal.
And yet, they may bury us with them. There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far, and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
I'll see what she has to say.
You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the Hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Alright, here's our war table. This will be a key tool in getting stuff done. Talking about agents, one key note is that agents count as points towards each Inquisition category. Like you have secrets, connections, which has to do with Josephine, the Inquisition itself, just basic perks and stuff. And anyway, like say if I get 3 agents for the secrets category, which would be Leliana's operatives, then if I get agents for that, it counts towards points in the secrets category. So like if I need to unlock 4 points in secrets to get, say, deft hands, I can unlock 1 point and get 3 agents. That counts as 4 points. I don't have to pick actual 4 perks in that category. That would add up real fast, especially because perks take a while to get, considering you need a lot of influence for them and stuff. So gathering agents out in the world is definitely important. Alright, we're going to meet one of my favorite people in the game, Scout Harding. She's so cool.
I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. They might not know much about the Kunari, but you'll get no backtalk from anyone here.
So
That's
cute.
A promise. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. All of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Harding, huh? Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding and... No, never mind.
Awesome. Oh, man.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get to business. The situation's pretty dire. We came to secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, We couldn't get to Dennet. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't be able to hold out very long. You best get going. No time to lose.
I love you, Scout Harding. You're as pretty as the sun filtering through the trees. Oh, isn't that poetic? Dude, shut up. Okay, my bad. Anyway, alright, thanks for watching, guys. And now we can go out and just start, killing things and exploring and getting loot and stuff. All the good stuff. Alright, if you want to subscribe and support the Ninja Flips, hit that button over my head. If you want more Inquisition, click that top box. All my videos, click the bottom box. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.